Hello.
Hello.
Am I on mute? No. Ah, my God. Lovey, you and your bombshells. Jeez. I know that's so much. Oh my God. Oh, let me find my minutes here. Who else is joining us today?
Is Anita?
No, she's out of town.
Okay. Yeah, she had,
I believe-
had the eight anyway.
I think Ronnie's coming.
Where's the speakers?
Yeah, you're right. Ronnie and yeah.
There we go. Okay. So is this it?
I know. What about Leslie?
Yeah.
Uh,
Come here.
So we're a town managers committee. That's
yes, no Brown Act requirements.
okay.
And we have so much to do, so much in the sustainability.
Well, my thought is if you get elected to council, you'll just do it.
Yeah, it's true. And I'll ask for volunteers and I'll call you guys up.
Yeah. Call Scott.
Yeah.
Scott.
Huh?
Get Scott.
Yes, Scott. Uh, and if Helen and I get elected, then she's the sustainability coordinator for Half Moon Bay. So she'd be able to help us accomplish some things.
How many spots are there on the council?
Two openings and
And how
four
many
people
years
went.
is the appointment?
4 years. Appointment? Well, the election, yeah, for 4 years.
Tenure, whatever.
The tenure, yeah.
And who's leaving? Jeff and
And Sarah Wernikoff.
okay. Hey.
What was that, Lovey?
I don't know.
Someone's dog must be yours, right?
My
Who has?
watchdog. My
I
watchdog.
got
He's at the door.
I got a couple here, but they're being quiet for once.
Yeah,
It's
you
so
have a puppy, don't you? Or you had a puppy? He's probably pretty big now.
Yeah, he's a year and a half now.
Full size, huh?
Yeah.
He's grown into his paws, right?
Yeah. Wally, come.
There he goes.
woo.
This the puppy you brought one day to the committee meeting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Come.
he still looks like a puppy. He's still got a puppy face. You don't think so?
He does. He does.
Yeah. Has tons of energy. I see. Is he still chewing on shoes? And yes. Oh no.
And couches.
Oh
Likes to chew on
no.
couches. Yeah.
Have you taken him for training, or do you already know how to do that yourself?
We paid a lot of money. It's funny, every time somebody posts on the forum that they want a recommendation for a dog trainer, I always think I want to post, don't go to the people who we got.
Oh
But I just
no.
don't want to get into it because we got involved with something that was a borderline scam. And
Oh.
and it was comical how bad this guy was. And so at least I can think about it and laugh. And my wife and I have some jokes about what some of the things we say about things that he did. And
Did he come to the house?
yeah, he came to the house for 6 hours. And by the end of that, I just wanted him to leave. And I think that's one of their It's
Yeah.
like a school night with the kids, and I worked that day, and my wife worked that day,
And it's just a
and
one session.
it's a one session.
One session, you're supposed to get your dog all trained up.
No, they teach you to be the trainer.
Oh,
So they give you the tools. This is horrible, but you know, they
oh
give you the tools, and you have to sign a thing that says you're the trainer, not them. And
Ooh.
um, and the
Wow.
guy wasn't like a anyway. So
no. Oh dear. I've
Well, you
heard
know,
good things about Barry Halperin, right? She advertises about once a month in
yeah,
town.
that's what everybody says. As soon as somebody asks for a dog trainer, then somebody recommends her.
She
well,
has a class, right? A puppy
Yeah.
class or
I
something.
took I took Daisy to a class down somewhere in Redwood City, and it was great because there were a lot of other dogs, and she got used to listening to me with a lot of other people around, and like leave it, like she wanted to go to some other dogs or something, and the code word was leave it,
Yeah.
and it was really good. I think it was like Saturday mornings for a month or 2 months or something, and it really did well. I mean, it worked well.
All right, we've got Ronnie. Ronnie,
Briefly,
all right. As acting president, um, I call the meeting to order. Any oral communications not on the agenda?
uh, uh,
um,
hmm, I don't know, Rebecca.
I, I,
Is it relevant or not? Maybe it's not relevant.
well, I think it is kind of relevant. I think it is kind of relevant, to be
Okay,
honest.
all right. I just heard from a member of the city council that the town manager, and please, I want to get this right. So please, don't. Anyway, please don't. I'm not. I just heard that he is respectfully separating as of 9:30, 24, and that somebody named Corey Stecker or Stoker will be
Yes.
with the town manager acting.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. This happened just 5:45 p.m. today.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of sort of whatever special town council meetings that are
Closed session. Yeah.
not non-public closed session where they've been discussing that, but it hasn't really been public what any of the details are.
So, keep it, don't spread it around until you hear it from somebody else. Okay? Because I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be known as somebody who spread a rumor that might not have been, I wasn't in the inner circle. I only know that,
Well, you heard it from the horse's mouth, so I think it's
well,
pretty clear, and they should be announcing it like tomorrow, frankly. You know?
well,
Okay.
what else can go wrong?
A lot, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, I
We
know,
can
I
get
know.
our housing element back, and with
Okay,
the message that it's been
let's get the
not
stuff
it's
out
not
of the way, and
acceptable.
let's get the stuff out of the way, and the minutes and crap like that, and then decide what we're going to do with this committee if it exists. Okay.
All right. So I think we have no introductions. Any other presentations or announcements? Approval of the minutes from May. Does anyone have a motion to approve the minutes?
I wasn't at the meeting, so I could approve, I could make a motion, but I wasn't there, so I can't say whether they're accurate or not.
Can I move to approve the minutes?
I'll second it.
All right. The minutes are approved from May.
All in
No,
favor?
you need a vote.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Democracy in
fine.
action.
Um, any old business to discuss?
All business.
Okay. New business. So the committee moving forward. I'll start. Um, I before Scott left, I was thinking about leaving too. I didn't feel like I was a combination of maybe not accomplishing what I want to accomplish, and maybe I'm not cut out for local government. Also, this is my first foray um, into government, so I'm going to be leaving after this. I'm interested in doing
National
something,
government?
moving. What's right? I'll just
Doing what? What did
I
you
said
say,
national
Ronnie?
government. I said national
National
government.
government.
Yeah.
No, I think he's going to go help Scott with the seals.
right.
Oh yeah.
Um, but
Help Scott with his what?
Seals or sea lions or what is he doing?
Scott's doing marine mammal rescue,
Oh,
so
there you go.
he he goes out with I'm assuming like a Batman style belt with all kinds of cool stuff on it, and goes and
This from
saves.
Hopkins? Is this from Hopkins Marine Station?
It's the station up in Sausalito.
Oh, okay.
Um, anyway, so I'm interested in doing something, but I don't think this is something I want to keep doing in this fashion. Anybody else have things to say about that?
Well, it's been a bad year, really. It wasn't always like this. Um, it was at times quite exciting, and we were doing good things, especially during the drought with the water conservation and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah,
So, don't
we
you,
did.
Rebecca?
Yeah, we got a lot done, and there was a lot of motivation within both the committee and within the community. There was, but it slacked off once, even before the pandemic, but once the pandemic for sure,
Yeah, the
been a
pandemic
massive
really was a killer.
slack off of interest, and it's very sad to me that there's so little interest in the community in sustainability because given how bad climate change is getting to be and how bad the storms are and how bad the fires are, you would think there would be much more motivation in town, but people are just more obsessed, it seems, with blocking housing
Yeah,
than
the housing.
making adequate changes to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. So it's pretty sad, but
But that's no reason to give it up.
no, it's true.
I mean, you know, uh,
I don't know what kind of options we have in order we could put it on hiatus or completely shut it down, or I don't know exactly what kind of options we have for the town, within the town. Put it on hiatus and recruit more members,
yes,
and then once
that's
we get enough, we could start it up again. And once we have support at the town level, because we definitely need a cohort like Brandy type of person in town that can actually help advise us and get things done.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like for me, I mean, yeah, for me at least, like doesn't I'd want to have like, staff like Brandy sort of helping to make make things happen where,
well,
uh
identifying targets that are, reachable or that have some impact. I mean, I hate
right.
these things where it's just words, but there's no impact.
Mm-hmm.
Like changing the building code to incorporate sustainability building practices and things like that. Like Rebecca, you were investigating on your other committees, using building materials that are more eco-friendly and things like that. I don't know, I just
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we requires, we need planning department support. The planning department doesn't exist at this moment. We need budget in order to hire people at the planning department, in order to use their time, in order to make changes to codes. And we don't have that either. So there's a lot of stuff that we just can't move forward with without, the climate action plan. It's, short of just copying some other town's climate action plan, which we could do,
Question.
we need support.
Question. The fact that we're a managers committee and not a town council committee, beyond the fact that we're not coming under the Brown Act umbrella, we don't have that. What does it mean in reality to be a managers committee and not a town council committee? Does it mean we don't?
It shouldn't mean very much other than, I mean, it means technically that we're not directed by the town council, to do something, and that enables us to not be a Brown Act committee and not have to like all be in person on the meetings and stuff like that. But I mean, at least the idea of it is that we should be able to, still be looped in with the town council, and like if we want to present something to them, if we still existed, then the town manager would like facilitate that for us. So
Well,
I think the idea of it is that it's not supposed to, in practice, be like all that different.
Okay, it sounds to me like though the key thing is we need a Brandy. We need somebody on the town staff that we report to, or we liaison with, or we do research for, and they identify a problem. I mean, we're their interns or something, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
without that person, so we need to lobby for that kind of a person on the town staff. There is no person there now, right? They didn't replace Brandy's position.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't think they quite figured out exactly what staffing they were going to, replace. And then the whole thing with the financial crisis, since we don't have a good sense yet of exactly what our expenses are or what our revenues are. It's hard
Okay,
to.
and that with the town, with the state coming in with these town with requirements for housing, low cost housing and stuff, as obviously, we're at the bottom of the pile about importance. So, okay, I'm just going to say it out. Can we take a hiatus until after the election, all elections after the first of the year? Can we just lie low and maybe recruit or talk about recruiting people, and try to take a sabbatical for 3-4 months, another one.
I mean, we could literally just do nothing, like not hold our meetings, not talk to anyone on the staff, and I don't think anyone would really
They no
notice.
not notice.
Yeah.
Probably you're right. They have bigger fish to fry.
Except that Jay's leaving. Have you sent a note already to the town staff at all? Probably
No,
not.
I'm not. No.
And Ronnie,
Who do
you
we
said you were
even
thinking
send?
of stepping down as well. So that would be two fewer people on the letterhead here.
Rebecca,
Right,
if
but
you're in town council, can you be on this committee as well?
I could only be a liaison. But that brings up another point about the fact that as a town manager committee, all of the town council members no longer seem to support all the town manager committees. Whereas before they were assigned to various committees, and well, it's bad enough that they haven't been. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they go to some of the meetings, but we've never had anybody. Once Mary Ann's, was no longer a town council member, I don't think we've had anybody. I think Jeff was assigned,
I
but
think
I
we
don't think
technically had Jeff. Yeah.
but not
He didn't show up to many of the
not
meetings.
in the last. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't think we've ever had anybody since Mary Ann left. And it was important having Mary Ann there because one, she was the voice of the town council, and she would bring back our concerns to town council, and town council then could also send messages to us, and she would update us on the regional things that were happening. And a lot more is happening regionally, obviously, than within our town. So it was important to get those updates as well. So since we now have new town manager, maybe that's a conversation some of us need to have with her. about figuring out what we're going to do, what she will do with her town management committees in terms of support and liaisons. So
who hires the town manager? The town council? So they usually use a professional headhunter group to interview people. Okay. Yeah. Just as a little aside, day before yesterday, I was out walking my dog, and guess who I met walking her dog, her new dog in the new way, was Mary Ann. And and I was telling her about this committee and what was happening, and she said, "Well, wait till Rebecca gets elected." So
I know, but I'm just one person, so
of you, Rebecca.
And I don't expect the rest of the committee, the rest of the council, to necessarily be gung ho about sustainability. So I can certainly help, and I can attend regional things that are related to sustainability. I can push. I can bring what's happening in other towns. I mean, Menlo Park is having their safety element. It's being passed tonight, I think. I don't know. Mary Ann sent around a note. So they're already up and done with that whole thing. We have barely started our safety element. And they put in some things about sustainability in there, a bunch of things. So other functioning towns seem to be managing.
Everyone says we didn't do anything with the safety element, but we did do a draft and all the committees reviewed it, and then I guess it's gone into a black hole. And it does have sustainability in it too.
I know, but if you remember correctly, that whole sustainability section, half of it should have really been stuck in other sections, right?
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, we had one. I mean, there was no real major need to make a massive change to the safety element. I mean, we were addressing wildfire, we were addressing earthquake safety, flooding. Obviously, there were some new sections that the state requires us to include in there, including sustainability. But to me, it didn't seem like a huge jump. But yeah, I got lost in the shuffle here with the housing element. But anyway, so I mean, I guess it's up to us to sort of vote. Do we just put this on hiatus? We say, just like we did all summer, we just say we're gonna wait until the new year and start up again and figure it out? Or do we just say we're closing down the committee right now, and in the new year we can decide to start it up again?
In practice, is there much difference? I mean, if we just shut down now, then if we wanted to start another thing at another time, we could just do that, right?
I would guess, since it's just a town manager committee. I mean, if it becomes back to becoming a Brown Act Town Council meeting, then I think there's a little bit more that has to be involved in that, because I would think that there would need to be a town council member to champion it, which would be fine if I'm there, but for a town manager committee,
I would imagine you run into fewer roadblocks if you just put it on hiatus, and you never know if you want to start a committee again, if there's more hoops to jump through, and who knows? I mean, maybe you guys know, but I would just think that's the less safe bet, to try to start a committee which is essentially new, even though it's the same thing.
I would tend to agree, I guess, on that.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, so I would say literally just do nothing. Just don't tell anyone anything.
Well, we would need to say we're canceling the October, November, December meetings, right?
Who are you going to tell that to?
Well, Carrie,
we're canceling the October, November, December meeting. There. Done.
Yeah, the woman, I met the woman who sends out the notification, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Yeah, we'll just tell Elizabeth, because she's kind of coordinating this stuff. Elizabeth, and say we're going to put it on hiatus and we're canceling the next few meetings
till after the elections and after the first of the year. New council sworn in, maybe new town council or town manager. I agree.
So I guess we need to make a motion and vote on that. So I make a motion, we put the committee on hiatus and we cancel the October, November, December meetings.
I second it.
All in favor?
I
I
Okay.
This has got to be the shortest meeting on record.
we haven't elected a new chair yet.
Let's just leave Scott as chair.
He's already off the letterhead. Let's make Lovey chair.
No, I would, but I got a mess in Florida that I
Well,
really
by December, by January, it'll all be cleared
Yeah.
out, right?
can we just hiatus? We'll just freeze it like it is now, and then in January we'll elect a new whatever mayor, president, king, queen, whatever. How's that?
That sounds good because by then we will have
So
recruited
the letterhead
4
doesn't.
new people, right?
Yeah, all women. What's with you guys?
We're here. Actually,
Ugh.
there's studies on male versus female attitudes about change, and it's what you might think.
Did I miss something? What?
No, I'm just saying if we're it's in general in committees like this and sustainability initiatives, there are more women than men.
Oh, really?
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
You look at a lot of the things that I've done. There'll be like, for instance, what I do is 85% men, and the committees that have to do with sustainability are usually about 90% women.
So what do you do?
Orthopedic surgery,
Oh, sports medicine?
shoulder surgery mostly.
Oh, I got a torn rotator cuff.
I have a hurt foot.
Anyway,
This has been the best meeting so far I've ever attended.
um, all right. So we agreed that motion was adopted. Next meeting, do we need to pick a date for the next meeting?
Well, let's put the 3rd Thursday of January then, I guess.
That's the 16th.
16th, yeah, 16th.
Okay. Anyone have anything positive?
Oh, well, I guess I could have mentioned at the oral communications or whatever. I did attend a really interesting lecture about let me see, it was put on by Sean. Oh shoot, I'm blanking on his last name. Anyway, he runs Redwood Energy and he creates what are they called? Microgrids for affordable home complexes. And he's working with a group up in Santa Rosa, I think, and they're building 140 home complex or something like this right next to the train tracks. Or
In
no,
Redwood City?
Petaluma.
Oh, Petaluma.
And he's putting in this intense microgrid that involves putting massive numbers, extra numbers of solar panels, and he's going to have vehicle to grid or vehicle to their grid, not to the larger grid, vehicle to grid with electric vehicles that will help, even out the usage at night. And they're putting in some batteries too, I think. And it's going to cover like something like 80% of the energy needs for this complex. And it was really, really interesting. They're going to be, and the thing that I found even more interesting was that they're going to be using for siding. So they're also trying to do really low greenhouse gas carbon footprint for this complex. They're going to put for siding, they're going to put there's this type of cork siding, and he described it kind of like a rice cake, but you're using cork granules that you heat to high temperature and they puff up just like a rice cake does. And they're formed into panels that you can just apply to the house or to the building and paint. And this is extremely low embodied carbon. It's actually a carbon sink because you're getting it from cork trees. So it's a natural material. It's supposed to be extremely fire resistant because it comes from essentially the cork trees are grown in Spain where they're subjective to a lot of fire. So they're very resistant to that. And the whole complex is being built with low carbon concrete, of which he said that there's a lot of suppliers in the Bay Area, of which I heard a lecture by a guy in Portola Valley who runs a company called Blue Planet or something concrete. He's setting up a huge concrete factory over in the north of the bay along the water, which will involve putting essentially limestone. He's got some special technique that will incorporate limestone into the concrete so that it becomes a concrete carbon sink as well. So they're throughout the whole complex. They've thought this thing through very well. It's going to be electric. They're going to have heat pumps. And he went through the costs of every single element. It was really fascinating, comparing it to what would be the conventional costs. And the costs were no more in some cases because the whole complex was being built to almost passive house standard. The costs were going to be less for the mechanicals and stuff. And then he's getting the cost for the microgrid and the equipment, the HVAC equipment and all that was going to be $8 million for this huge complex. And he's actually getting grants and tax credits worth 12 million. And that money will go towards the 8 million will cover the existing buildup costs, and then the 4 million will then cover the replacement costs for the batteries and whatnot. And the batteries they're getting, he's working with a company that takes used batteries from EV cars, and supposedly most of these EV car batteries, the reduction in range goes down only about 80%. Before people decide to get rid of the car and junk it. So that these companies that are taking all these old batteries and creating battery packs that still have tons of life left to them. So that's what they're using in this complex. So it's really, really impressive what they're doing. I'm trying to get a little bit more information about the cost for actually build the buildings themselves. So I haven't gotten that information, but clearly he's built a lot of affordable homes, this guy, a lot of complexes. His website's full of them, of groups that he's worked with for that. So it's definitely a possible thing that people are able to do in California, no less. So I was really impressed. So,
Great to hear. It's a good way to end. It's a good way to end our meeting.
Yes. Yes. I've enjoyed working with you guys all.
Yeah.
I think we did get some stuff done particularly before the pandemic. But anyway.
All right. Anything else before a motion to adjourn?
Maybe we'll see you guys Saturday at the picnic.
Yeah.
At the Zots to Tots. We'll see if my husband can beat the little kids in their strollers.
Well, my wife has won the run 3 years in a row because the first year she didn't know it was just a fun run. And now the kids expect her to win every year. So she's very embarrassed that this is a thing in our house, but that's where we are. So she'll be the one running very fast.
Oh, okay. Well, wish her a lot of luck. I have a hurt foot, so I can't do it. All righty.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Aye.
Favor.
See you guys around.
Bye.
Bye,
See
guys.
you later. Bye.
Bye.
Au revoir.